The young woman seems about to raise her hand, but quickly remembers herself and nods pointedly at the excited children.
Who indeed? Why, my name is, Madame Josephine Gripples de Peeb.
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
The children break out into giggles.
I say, it is.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
It was one of them. I know it.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
We just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up.
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Guess you aren't a creative type, are you, Chief? I say they're one and the same. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
We just skip to the part where I reassure you and
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Your kind always come closest around the vine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
Name?
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy. We're trying to catch a killer here.
I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
You one of them? A Divine Order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
Seems to me you should be a little more afraid. There's a killer about, after all.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Like wolves around a campfire.
Well, we've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
The ship, of course.
Make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've
A
never
wave
known
of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
More concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy
And?
with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Never thought you'd end up in prison, guard.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our Divine, like wolves around a campfire.
We've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right.
Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty.
There now, just like that.
Are all I was given.
Unacceptable.
Squeak!
Less than a dozen course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Aha!
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe.
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
That's enough.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen course dinner.
Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Just as more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Sing us a song. I know you can. Be good, you scallywags.
Captain, actually. And that figure tells me we're getting close to the Joy. Close to what lies beyond it, too.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more
He
concern.
continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
You don't know the first thing about sauce.
Keep those bubbles trained on her, and if she
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
All about it.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure
Well,
you
well.
and you shut
What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
Right. I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this.
Never thought you'd end
Can you
up a
cook?
prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang
Oh,
you right
goodness,
over the side of
no.
this ship with him.
And don't even mention the demon's testes that are turnips. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll
On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
Knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one. Can we
Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils.
You think me mad?
So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we?
What are you trying to hear anyway?
As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest.
My slave, of course.
Closest to our
Oh, but I see. Yes, I suppose it must take some time for the full extent of my disheartening refusal to sink in.
On a leash now.
Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
It was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Mad? Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
You are Jill, aren't you?
I ain't saying nothing.
Bloody dwarves. I'll come back to you, and you better be ready to talk here.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
You! Sorcerer! Blood?
No.
Go! Ruff!
Please, no, sir.
No doesn't become a yes over time, you know.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Come on. Please, no, sir. Be good, you scallywags.
Murder most foul. And I strongly suspect you. It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Bad. Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That's right. I always knew you'd turn up.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us will kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before.
One of them. I know it.
you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
One of us will kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us will kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
We just skip to the part where I reassure
Of course I do. Seems Voidwalk can dog your heels like a shadow. That's no way to live, is it?
insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to
You'll see. We're gonna help you.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me.
You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
That right. I always knew you'd turn up rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, we've got this wolf on a leash now.
So,
Anything interesting for me? Right. Tick-tock.
The hatch is blocked. I need to find another way.
Off to the herd, little sheep. Away you go.
No lesions, no trauma. He was bled by magic.
It was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
What on earth is the matter?
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
Treat the one about
Do you?
trying to. And if
Well,
she tries
perhaps
to
you're
run, shoot to
absolutely
kill.
right. You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul. And I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?